In this video, I make a custom Funko Pop of Manchester United and Northern Ireland football legend George Best. Right then, Funko, surely you must have a pop of George Best? They didn't. So, you know what this means? No pop, no problem. I'll just have to make it myself. Funko have brought out some new football sculpts, so I thought it would be fun to use this Luis Diaz as the base for the George Best custom. The pose looks great, but the head is going to have to be swapped out. So, for the head, I'm going with this Mike from Stranger Things head. To remove the head from a pop, you will need to dunk the pop in some hot water for a few minutes. The water shouldn't be boiling hot though, as this could melt the glue too much. Obviously this has never happened to me before. And now the head will pop right off. That is a very long neck post. Well, after I managed to stop laughing at that neck post, I got on with the customizing. The design I am going with is the Manchester United kit from season 1972-73. I went with this as it is the first time United had the team badge on their shirts. Also, I really wanted to do a long sleeve shirt. So, to make the long sleeves, I used Milliput. Milliput is a 2-part putty which sets hard in a few hours. So I better get sculpting. I just smudged it on with my fingers and added some water to smooth it all out. Finally, I used a craft knife to tidy up the cuffs. So, I finally get a football pop with a round neck, and I still need to sculpt a different collar. I sculpt the collar out of Milliput using a small round head sculpting tool and a craft knife. Next up was the hair. George's hair covered his ears, so I had to mould some extra hair, and you all know how much I love doing that. Not. I used these silicone blending tools to help mould the hair and to get the putty into the gaps. They also helped to give a nice smooth finish. Guess what time it is? Time to prime. I used slightly thinned Vallejo Mecha Grey primer. I started with a few light mist coats before building up to a heavier wet coat. After that had all dried, I masked off everything that wasn't the shirt and airbrushed it in this lovely bloody red colour. Then I airbrushed the face with Vallejo Premium Airbrush Colour in Flesh Tone. Once that was dry, I masked off around the hairline and airbrushed the hair in black. And then I messed up pretty badly. I don't even realise it for a very long time, but I airbrushed the shorts in black when they should be white. So here I am, happily taking off all the masking tape and cling film, totally oblivious to my mess up. And the reason why I made such a big mistake was because I forgot one of the most important parts of the process. I forgot to draw out my design. So, better late than never, I made this amazing drawing. After remasking everything, which, by the way, takes absolutely ages, I primed over the black shorts and sprayed them the correct colour. I used Viejo Mecha colour in white. George Best had some nice facial hair that season, so I masked off a beard shape and lightly airbrushed the area in black. I had never made a full beard on a pop figure before, so this was a new experience for me. Then for the best bit. Removing the masking tape. This was very satisfying, and it turned out pretty nice. Next, I painted the white cuffs and that lovely huge 70s collar. Sometimes the masking tape doesn't always stop seepage, like here for instance. So I had a few touch-ups to do before moving on to painting the legs, arms and neck. I also painted the football as I think they look a bit boring just white. After all the painting was done, I airbrushed on a few coats of Viejo Premium Satin Varnish. This helps to stop the paint chipping and also serves as a base for the decals to stick to. I created the designs for the decals in Affinity Designer and printed them out on Mr. Decal paper, waterslide decal paper. I always make extra decals in case I mess them up. I apply the decals with Micro Set and Micro Sol. There wasn't many decals to make for this figure though, as back in the 70s football shirts were not like the advertising boards that they are now. When the decals had dried, I sprayed over them with the satin varnish. This takes away the shininess and hides the edges of the decals. When I removed the rest of the masking tape, I found a few areas that needed painting. So after I fixed that, it was time to get the head back on. This new neck design actually makes it easier to get the neck back on. I didn't have to cut the hole bigger. I was able to push it back on, so that was nice. With the figure finished, I then had to make a box. I made the box in Affinity Designer with a template I found online. Then I printed the designs, but my printer decided it could no longer print red for some reason. So, more than an hour after messing around with the settings, I was finally able to print in the correct colours. In fact, my printer is now printing much more vibrant colours than before. So much so that I kind of want to remake some of the previous boxes I made, as I wasn't 100% happy with the colours of those. After printing everything, I laminated the sheets, cut out the designs and put everything together with double-sided sellotape. I reused the clear plastic window and the bubble from the Louis Diaz box, and with that the figure was complete. Here's the final result.